Okay, are we working now? Does this work now? I know it wasn't working a second ago. Are we back? Are we alive? Yes? Okay, cool. Now I can do the greeting. Hello, everyone. I was going to do the old cheesy one, but the mic kind of threw me off. I wasn't expecting it to not work right off rip. How's everyone doing today? My name is Jakin. Welcome to the channel Swordplay and Sorcery, where we are on a journey every single Wednesday to convert the entire 2025 Dungeons & Dragons Monster Manual to DC20. Every Wednesday, except the first Wednesday of every month. That's right, next week, the first Wednesday of March, we are going to be going back to reviewing your submitted monsters. And there are a lot, ranging from custom creations to people's own conversions of some of the 5e monsters and Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, not kidding. There's a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's still left to cover. So that'll be next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. We will not be converting any monsters that stream. Instead, we will be reviewing your monsters. And then the following week, we'll return back to the converting 5e monsters. But before I go on, let's get some hellos out of the way. Let's see who we've got in here. We've got the Lunar Pierce. What's up? Manic was here. Liam. A the Ant. Conkus Bonkus. Nice haircut. Thank you. I was rocking like the Conan hair right before stream, and I was like, I need to put on the hat. And the hat is already marking up my head. I lost the original one of these hats that I got from Gen Con a few years ago. So this previous Gen Con, I wanted to get the hat again because it was my favorite hat to wear. And they didn't tell me that it was like this like kind of material where like it changes, you know, color based on the direction. And it's also an elastic fit. I hate it. But I still like having a dice hat. Oh my goodness. All right. So we've got a monster to cover today, and that is the ABOLETH. It's a frequently used monster in Dungeons & Dragons, at least to me it is. And thankfully, unlike last week where we covered the Aarakocras, there's only one ABOLETH. Granted, it's a bigger stat block, but there's only one ABOLETH. I will not be pulling up the ABOLETH on stream. I don't own the monster manual on D&D Beyond, so I don't really have a way to pull it up, and I can't show pages technically, legally. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to get myself involved in a Pinkerton situation. Thankfully, you don't have any of that happening over at DC20. That's for sure. All right, let's read a little bit of this excerpt about the ABOLETH, at least according to the new Dungeons & Dragons Monster Manual. Today's drink, Dr. Pepper. I went in for my theater shift today, working in the movie theater. Left with a full cup. Life is pretty good. Life is actually so good. I haven't been in this office since last stream. I haven't been coming in here to game, hang out on Discord. A lot of it has just been, I'm either at the theater or Yasmin and I chose to go out to eat for dinner. That's kind of where I've been. All right, anyways, that's not what you're here for. You're here for the ABOLETH. Oops, I shared it. Uh-oh, sue me. All right, so the ABOLETH can be found in the Underdark or underwater, and as far as treasure goes, it has relics. Now, what does that mean? One of the neat things about the new monster manual is it gives monsters gear and treasure. So if it has any treasure on it, it puts a category of a kind of treasure that will be associated with that monster. If it has gear, that means as a dungeon master or game master in DC20, when you inevitably have that player that's like, can I loot the body? You know exactly what to hand out. Yeah, they have this and this on them. That's exactly what it is. So what treasure did we say that we have for this? We have relics. And relics falls under the treasure theme. So it can fall under arcana, armaments, implements, or relics. The Monsters Treasure Hoard features magic items with the noted theme. So, you have to go to the Dungeons Master Guide, look at magic items, and see which magic item falls under the theme of relics for the Aboleth. Man, I didn't know they put Jakin into this game. Dang, I just got called old. Dang. All right, anyways. In the aquatic abyss, the Aboleths dream of dead empires and orchestrate plots that unfold across ages. These elusive, amphibious immortals physically and mentally overwhelm their victims and transform creatures with slimy, aberrant infection, reshaping other beings to serve them beneath the waves. So already, you're kind of getting a little bit of Mind Flayer kind of vibes just for underwater, right? The Aboleth possesses terrifying intellects and have alien mindsets. These creatures possess perfect memories of proto-worlds and incomprehensible dominions from the multiverse's earliest eons. Already kind of cool. It's reminding me of that one monster from the opening of Doctor Strange 2. Aboleths lurk in places awash in primordial mysteries, the ruins of aquatic empires, hidden magical nexuses, or weak places between planes of existence. In these layers, Aboleths dreams of epochs past, collect throngs of physically dominated servants, consume the minds of unwitting victims, and prepare for their return to power. Aboleth's alien goals and methods are often mysterious to other creatures. Roll on or choose a result from the Aboleth Schemes table to inspire in Aboleth Schemes. So we get a 1d6 table for this monster, and I might incorporate that into the DC20 stat block. I haven't fully decided yet, but I'm leaning towards that. Any other final paragraphs? We have a little bit of information about their layers, and that's about it. Okay, dokie. That's enough yapping for me. I think you guys are ready to just get on with the stat block, right? I'm sorry, that was rude. It was funny though. Vicious, what's up? How you doing? Samuel Crosshill, family time is almost always a good time. I would say 99% of the time, it's a good time. 98. Sorry I'm late. I miss anything important? You could argue not. I'm just reading a little bit of the excerpt about the Aboleth for people who are unfamiliar with it from Dungeons & Dragons. And now we're getting on to the stat block. So let's head over to DC Crit, shall we? And for those of you unfamiliar, this is DC Crit. Exclamation point DC Crit in the chat to go to the DC Crit Patreon page where you can support and get access to this website. This is where you make DC20 monsters, soon equipment, soon spells, characters, and other tools which we will be going over on the stream today. I forgot to last week because I was a little bit tired, but one of the tools that we will be covering tonight is the VTT token editor. I'm pretty excited to show this one. I've purposely avoided some of the chats in the DC Crit Patreon or the DC Crit Discord because I wanted to look at this blind with you guys. Which it looks like a lot of people have been shaping it up to be something really cool and really special. I'm really excited. All right, let's go ahead and create this monster. So I'm gonna go to My Monsters. You can see this list. You can go to dccrit.com, see all these monsters that I've made. And you'll notice that some of them say 2014 and some of them say 2025. The 2014s are past ones that we have converted. 2025 will be the new version going forward in case there's ever a request to convert a specific year version of the monster. Okay, so the Aboleth, we're going to create a new monster. And this is the fun part. We get to enter in a bunch of details. All right, so obviously we're going to name this Aboleth with an E, not an I. I've spelled it wrong a few times today. And this is going to be a large aberration. Level 10, CR10 in Dungeons and Dragons. Unknown role. I don't know yet. And as far as rank, it's probably going to be either a boss or solo. I'm actually going to make that the first poll over on YouTube. Solo or boss. So you guys are going to be able to vote. Is this technically a boss battle if your party is going up against it? Or if your party is going up against this, it's the party versus the one creature. The poll is now live. It is in your guys' hands. Do we make this a solo monster or a boss monster? It is entirely up to you guys. Vien, hi, been a while. Howdy, how have you been? Howdy means the same thing as how you been. I gotta break that habit. Howdy. Avenue Studios, what's up, guys? Hail, Swordplay and Sorcery chat. Love me an aberration monster. I'm excited. I'm very excited about this. I took a little bit of a peek. I'm trying not to take a peek at the monsters, but I can't really help it. Bosses have minions. Solo can hold its own. So, solo? I think I'm leaning towards solo. I'm going to give the poll another minute, maybe minute and a half. But there was something in the opening paragraph about basically doing what Mind Flayers do and converting creatures with like slimy grossness into things that ultimately serve them. So I'm wondering if it should be a boss. But again, we're gonna leave this up to you guys. Let's see how much is left on this little clock. Yeah, we're gonna give it another 20 seconds. Then we're gonna close that poll and then ultimately decide. As far as the roll goes, I'm honestly not too sure yet. I'm probably going to come back to that once we have the stat block a little bit more whittled down in DC20 fashion and we have an idea of what it's capable of, a little bit more in depth. I think then I'll give it a roll. All right. And boom. Let's do this. We're going to close the poll, see the results. And 66% of you said boss. 33% of you said it should be a solo monster. This thing sounds like it would have minions. Both is good. Name my favorite movie. The Road to El Dorado. Yes. That your website of monsters. What is the website? Oh, the website, it's called DC Crit. So if you exclamation point DC Crit in the chat, it'll take you to Manic's Patreon page. Manic is the person who built this website. So supporting Manic on Patreon will also support the site and the development of the site. And Manic's been working hard on this thing, and it shows. This site is genuinely a lot of fun and genuinely feels like a D&D Beyond for DC20. It's really cool. Also, after last weekend, where I kept forgetting to be like Jesus and save often, right? Manic added an autosave. So you can see it right here. Autosave is turned on because of me not pressing save. So thank you so much, Manic. Yo, Maxim Smirnoff, good night, sir. Good night to you. I made a version of this monster before work. I'll have to go back and add layer actions once I get off work. Maybe we'll have to review that on the View Your Monsters next week. Again, if you want to submit a monster for me to review before next week, exclamation point Discord in the chat to join the Swordplay and Sorcery Discord server. Submit it in the Share Your Monsters channel, and we'll probably view it next week, unless we have too many monsters, which in that case, more for another time. All right, so we've all agreed that it's going to be a boss. 66% of the votes. There we go. All right, now let's get to the fun part. We've said that this is a level 10 boss, so we're gonna go over to this little Google Sheets thing I've made. It's very close to being shared. Once this is final, I'm gonna be sharing it in the Discord. I've already had a few people say, hey, where's this sheet at? I'm still making tweaks. Once it's final, I'll be sharing it in the Discord for you guys to convert your own 5th edition monsters over to DC20. Or even custom build a monster. It doesn't have to be used for converting. So, we said this is a level 10. and this is a boss. So this should have basically 75 health points. That seems pretty good. I don't know that it really needs to be much higher than that. In Dungeons and Dragons, it's about 150. It's 150 health points, which I believe. Let's see. 150 times. Yeah, that should be about right. That should be. Rarely can stay here with you due to headache, but would love to check out your stream tomorrow and make my own Aboleth version for your next stream. Absolutely, the VOD will be up after the stream, so you can always go back and watch it, comment, tell me if I'm doing something wrong. Sometimes I get that, and I really enjoy those. But yeah, build your own Aboleth and then submit it in the Discord so we can review it next week. I know we have a Mind Flayer we get to review next week, which is really cool. You and your friends were going to do some DC20 campaign or something, right? What happened about that? Oh, is that what you mean? Okay, so episode 1 is basically finished. It can be shared with the Patreon. I was waiting to see if I could get a few more little things tweaked about it. But we are going to be changing up that format a little bit. So it was going to be an episodic structure, and now it's going to be more like a movie structure. Basically, I approached it wrong. So I tried using a virtual tabletop that didn't really work the way that we wanted it to. It actually made things way more complicated than it needed to be. And, you know, I approached that whole project with the idea of wanting to combine two things that I love, which is the movies and how stories are told in movies, and actual plays and TTRPGs and how you tell stories in those. I wanted to merge those two worlds together. What I ended up doing was putting it in a TV format, but trying to make it work like a movie. That shouldn't be how it works. If I'm wanting to make these feel like movies, they need to be one-shots. They need to be one-shot. If I want to make a longer story, something worthy of a series, then I'll make it a series. But basically, I approached it wrong. I approached it like a series instead of a movie, and it felt very wrong. So episode 1 will be released. My throat is still a little sore. Episode 1 will be released, Patreon first, then on YouTube, but it'll also include like a little video, a little companion video with it, basically saying, I made an actual play, here's what went wrong. In my experience trying to make it. Too long, didn't read it, I messed it up, and you're getting one episode, but we know how to fix it for the next one. Okay, so the Aboleth, we said it's level 10, it's going to have 75 health points, so we're going to put that at 75. Physical defense, oh wait, down there, should have a physical defense of 18 and mental defense of 17, so we're going to put that up to 18. What was that, 17? Is that right? 18, 17? Yeah. So this is like maxed out kind of stats. All right, and to convert might, agility, charisma, and intelligence over from 5th edition, all you do is take the modifier from 5th edition and put that in for your main attribute number. So for example, strength in DC20 would be might. Our modifier is +5, so our might will be a +5. Agility would be dex. Our modifier is actually going to be -1. But also in DC20, your might is your strength, but it's also your constitution. So constitution is a +2. I'm actually going to make that, I'm going to add the 2 to that, make that a might of 7. Because monsters don't have to follow the same rules as characters. Hee hee. Okay. Charisma. Charisma is going to be charisma, just like Dungeons & Dragons. So that'll be a modifier of 4. And then intelligence is going to be intelligence and wisdom combined for a total of 6. So we have 4 intelligence, 2 wisdom, so we have 6. And now we need to check if there are any saves, because in the new stat blocks, it'll tell you what kind of saves it has. And this thing has saves everywhere. It has saves everywhere. So we're going to give it a save for each thing. So we need to figure out its combat mastery. So combat mastery is half your level, rounded up. So level 10 means that we have a combat mastery of 5. So we're just going to put 5 in each one, which will make this thing crazy, but this is a crazy monster to fight. And then we're going to preview the draft, and that 5 is automatically going to add itself to the attribute modifier. So boom! Check that out. Look at that stat block.
Says, fuck.
What? By the way, if I get way too hyper-focused on the stat block and you really need my attention because you feel something should be changed, exclamation point TTS followed by the message that you want to send, and it will be read aloud on the stream. Don't abuse it. I'll have to turn it off if you do. But if it's used every now and then, that's all right. That's all right. See, what are y'all saying? Best way to learn is just fumble through it and recalibrate. Speaking from experience, can't wait to see it, man. Exactly. Oh my God. I see why you're saying bot now. We got a bot in the chat. Boo. I'm killing my throat. Boo. How about I ban you? Boom. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. You got banned. You got banned. Take that, loser. All right. So we've done the saves. Now we can move on to our skills. The Aboleth has history and perception. So we're going to press the plus button. We're going to add history. And for our modifier, history is going to fall under intelligence plus level 10. Let me double check. Level 10, that would be, and what I'm referring to for this is the progression table. So basically trying to figure out how much extra to add, right? So already we know that this is at least a 6. But players at level 10 should be experts. So every 5 levels, right, you get to add a little bit of a modifier, right? So at level 1, you're novice, so that's 2. Level 5, you're adept, so that's 4. So because we're level 10, that's going to be plus 6. So history is going to be a 12, which is actually what it is in the D&D stat block, which is cool. And then the other one is perception. Now, we don't have perception in DC20. We have awareness, which is going to be your prime modifier, which is always going to be equal to your highest stat. So we know at minimum, this is going to be a 7 plus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So an awareness of 13. Pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Plus 10. Wait, no. 12. Yep. All right. Next up is going to be senses. So we have dark vision up to 120 feet. So we're going to put dark vision because we have that in DC20. But instead of feet, we do spaces. Granted, each space, so if you're looking at a grid, one square, is still 5 feet, but it's spaces. So the way that I like to do this personally is take whatever the D&D number was and divide by 5. So 120 divided by 5 is 60. I've done this so many times and still don't know. 24. I knew that. 24 spaces. All right, and then we have passive perception. So in this case, it would be passive awareness, which passive stats are a thing in the game. The way that you calculate them is it's 10 plus the relevant modifier. So it's going to be 10 plus whatever our modifier is for awareness, which you know is 13. So this thing has a passive awareness of, wow, 23. Passive awareness of 23. Crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I love it. I love it so much. Okay. Resistances, doesn't say anything about that. Vulnerabilities, doesn't say anything about that. Conditions, also not something. And then languages. So we are going to add deep speech. Help. That's not how you spell speech. Deep speech. And then telepathy. So we're going to say telepathy. And it's up to 120 feet, which we established is 24 spaces. So telepathy, 24 spaces. Boom, look at that. Jakin, you're so smart. You know everything. Totally no sarcasm. I know everything. Make it 60 spaces thing can travel all around the map in one go. Make it 60 spaces. What? What? Okay. So, we did our languages. Next up are our traits, which in DC20 are going to be our features. And we have how many traits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 traits. Whew. Okie dokie. Let's do this. The first thing up is amphibious. Let me find a better way to have the book out but still be able to type. I mean, if it was on D&D Beyond, if I just bought it on D&D Beyond, it'd be way easier, but I don't want to buy the book and then buy it again on D&D Beyond, because I also don't really use D&D Beyond much anymore. Ignore us, we're just goofing. Nah, I don't believe you. Amphibious, right? That's how you spell it? Amphib. That looks right. We're gonna go with that. So the aboleth can breathe air and water. Nothing about that really needs to be tweaked for DC20, so that one is pretty good to go. Next up, our next trait is, you know what? I thought I could have the side table be the handy way to do that, and I lied. Our next trait is going to be Eldritch Restoration. That's already kind of cool. Eldritch Restoration. See, in previous stat block videos, I would just take whatever the feature is, copy, paste it over, and then tweak it. But here, we actually have to type it out for once. So we're just going to read it first and then see. If destroyed, the aboleth gains a new body in 5d10 days, reviving with all its hit points in the far realm or another location chosen by the DM. You know what? I actually don't really see a need to change that one. We're going to keep it. It does make typing awkward. So we're going to say if... Yeah, that makes typing really awkward. You know what? I think I can just stand the book up. So move the cup, put the phone right here, make a note to change the desk layout. Will this work? Question mark? Maybe? Maybe? Barely, but it works kind of. Okay. So, if destroyed, the aboleth, and I like to capitalize all the important terms, the aboleth gains a new body in 5d10 days. I like the idea that you roll for it. Reviving with all its health points in the far realm or another location chosen by the DM, but in this case GM, because DC20. All right, cool. Our next trait is Legendary Resistance. We are not going to add that one. That one is going to be part of our Apex features. I don't really see a need for that to be in our features. We'll just add that down the line. So our next one is going to be, mucus cloud. Y'all better bless me. The amphibious frog. Imagine if it were 3d10 days. It rolls 3 days and just becomes Jesus. Bless you. Thank you. All right, so the mucus cloud. While underwater, the aboleth is surrounded by mucus. Ew. Constitution saving throw, DC14. Each creature in a 5-foot emanation originating from the aboleth at the end of the aboleth's turn. Failure, the target is cursed. Until the curse ends, the target's skin becomes slimy. The target can breathe air and water, and it can't regain health points unless it is underwater. While the cursed creature is outside of body of water, the creature takes 6 1d12 acid damage at the end of every 10 minutes, unless moisture is applied to its skin before those minutes have passed. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break this up basically into 2 things, right? Or, well, we could keep it as 1. Yeah, we can keep it as 1. I was going to say we're going to break this down into a feature and then have an action be part of it, but this is a passive effect, so I think we're good. So let's figure this out. Let's figure out how we're going to do this. You know what? I could just set this down on my lap. It's not really perfect, but yeah, that's perfect. What did I just say? Mucus cloud is what Jakin just made. What are you talking about? All right. So while underwater, the aboleth, okay, is surrounded by mucus. So it's saying a con saving throw, DC 14, each creature in a 5-foot emanation originating from the aboleth at the end of the aboleth's turn. Failure. The target is cursed. Until the curse ends, the target's skin becomes slimy, and the target can't breathe air and water, and it can't regain hit points unless it is underwater. That is such a crazy passive effect. You know, man. See, I was thinking like breaking this up, but it's a passive thing. You enter. It's not the aboleth actively doing this to a player. It's a player, you know, going into the area of the aboleth. Yeah, okay, we're gonna keep this. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. Okay, so it says con saving throw, and then it says the result. Let's go check our formatting real quick. So I'm gonna go to my formatting tab on here, and then we're gonna say maneuver name, save type, failure, result. So I'm gonna take this, copy, and then that's how we're gonna format this in the more traditional DC20 way. So maneuver name, save type, and failure, right? So we're gonna say we can actually make this each creature in a 5-foot emanation originating from the aboleth. Each creature in a 1 space. Each creature in a 1 space emanation originating from the aboleth makes a let's see, it says a con save, but what you're doing is, oh wait, you're basically getting cursed. You're getting transformed. So this needs to be a mystical save. Mental save, mystical save. Mystical save. Now I'm paranoid. We have this conversation every week. We have this conversation every week. I made a whole video on checks and saves, and everyone's, you know what? No, give me a minute. I want to make sure I'm getting this right. It's mental saves, mystical defense, but it's a mental save. What did I decide last week? It's a mystical defense, but it's called a mental save. No, I'm calling it a mystical. I already told Coach my thoughts on this. I'm calling it a mystical save. Is that a thing in DC20? No. But it's a mystical defense. There's nothing about a mental defense. I'm calling it a mystical save. Maybe that'll be changed in the great rewording. Mystical defense, mental everything else. Nah, it's mystical. I need to breathe. I've already had this conversation with Coach. I've had this conversation with chat. We're moving on. They make a mystical save. Failure, which I'm going to make bold. So, failure. And then we type out the result. The target is cursed. The target is cursed. I was going to put it italicized, but not anymore. All right, so the target is cursed until the curse ends. We don't have to capitalize that. We already said it. All right, so until the curse ends, the target's skin becomes slimy. The target can breathe air and water, and it can't regain health points. That's kind of funny. Unless it's underwater. And then, am I able to format this like can I shift enter and make that work? Is that a thing? While, yeah, okay. While the cursed, while the cursed creature is outside a body of water, the creature takes okay, here's a thing. You don't make like in DC20, you don't make people save to take damage. That's not a concept. But you've put this condition, this feature on them. And if they choose to go out of the water, the curse takes effect. So that's not the save, it's the curse. Okay. That justifies it for me. That's cool. Okay. The curse takes 6 acid damage. How much damage are we supposed to be doing at this level? Level 10 boss 7. I'll say 5. Because it's not the main damage. It's just kind of a passive damage. The creature takes 5 corrosive damage. The creature takes 5 corrosive damage at the end of every 10 minutes. Unless moisture is applied to its skin before those minutes have passed. Oh, hey, the formatting worked. All right, so if I delete that gap, can I tab? Oops. Can I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No. Okay. That was worth a shot. I just wanted to see the different ways you could format in DC Crit, exclamation point DC Crit to support. Just for me. Yeah, I'll break it up like that. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Can't wait mystical defense to be changed to mental defense just to spite Jakin. Okay. Ignis, how you doing? Hey, man. I'm so glad you're making an ABOLETH. I love this creature. I have a question for you. In DC20, a monster's level is equal to a player level. I'm asking for the purpose of encounter balance. Okay, wait, let me reread that. In DC20, a monster's level is equal to a player level. Oh, is it? Okay, is the monster's level equal to a player's level? I'm asking for the purposes of encounter balance. In my experience, yes, with an asterisk. I believe that with any system, there's no perfect way to balance because of all the varying choices that your players can make. So, generally speaking, yes, that power level should match your player's power level, but there are instances where that isn't going to be the case. For example, a DC20 monster that we are converting from 5th edition might be a little bit different in power because it could have more or less features. I believe the command is still there. If you ! mortal in the chat, it'll actually take you to this wonderful page by two of the developers of DC20, Mortal and Jado. So this is their Notion page. Before we had any idea of what monsters looked like, this was the hub to use for monsters. And they actually have a creation tab with guidelines about how to make monsters for DC20, as well as how to build 5th edition monsters for DC20. They even have a whole thing about encounter design. So the first consideration for encounter making is the difficulty of the encounter you want to run: easy, medium, hard, or deadly. Which, that changed in D&D. Now you only have, I believe it's just easy, medium, hard. Hard is considered deadly. So you have encounter HP, which the encounter HP is the total amount of health the monsters have. That could be evenly split or focused in 1 to 2 big monsters. So the number of players times the average HP of a monster at that level. So here's an example that they have. A hard level 1 encounter for 4 players would be 15 times 4 equals 60 HP total, right? So the number of players times the average HP. So if the average HP for a monster of that level is 15 times 4 players, 60 health points total. Another method of encounter scaling for difficulty is running the HP 1 level lower. For example, an easy level 1 fight might use the medium HP numbers in the level half section. An easy level 1 encounter for 4 players, so 6 times 4 equals 24 health total. Jakin has to roll a mental save against exasperation after chat's argument attack beat his mystical defenses. Don't get me started. This whole mental save, mystical defense thing. Oh, wait, what else was said? A mental save is rolling against a spell's DC with your main mental attribute, and mystical defense is your ACs against magical attacks, if I remember right. And that is one of the things... I can't comment on that yet. Okay. Lip sealed. I don't know anything. But yeah, if you want to !mortal in the chat, I believe I still have that command in there. If not, I'll just go ahead and just drop this in the YouTube chat for you so you can take a gander at this yourself. Boom, there you go. I personally love it. I use it quite often. Jakin keeping secrets? I don't know what you're talking about. All right. I hope that answered your question. Welcome to the stream. Probing telepathy. Probing telepathy. Okay. If a creature the aboleth can see communicates telepathically with the aboleth learns the creature's greatest desires. I like that. I don't think we can... I mean, we can change anything about it, but I'm not going to. I think it works. You could make a save out of it, but it does say in here they have to communicate telepathically with the aboleth, implying they are choosing to communicate back. So if you're choosing to communicate telepathically with this thing that has reached out to you, yeah, it's going to probe your mind. So I'm not going to add a save or anything. I'm just going to write that as is. So, oh my God, I did the same thing. I did the same thing as last week. Oh my God, we're about to see how we're about to see how autosave works. Ha, nice. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, Manic. That was cool. That was cool. All right. So, probing telepathy. If a creature, the Aboleth can see, communicates telepathically with the Aboleth learns the creature's greatest desires. Dun dun dun. Again, I see no reason to change that, so I'm not going to. Jakin, I swear to God, what'd I do? He does a bit better than the coach. What do you mean? I do what better? Jakin is a part of the triangle confirmed. What do I do better than coach? I'll tell you what it is. Nothing. Coach is really good at what he does. Okay. And that wraps it up for the features of the Aboleth. So now we're going to move on to our action bars, right? So there's only 4 actions for your max, so we're just going to keep that at 4 actions. Legendary action points, we'll get to that later when we get to that section. But let's see what our attack modifier is. For level 10, that's going to be a plus 10. Here we are. Our save DC is going to be 10 plus our combat mastery plus prime. So we already know that it's a 17 because our prime matches our highest attribute, and then plus 5 because half of your level. So we're level 10, so this is a 5. Help, I didn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A save DC of 22. Dadgum. Okay, and how fast is this thing? This thing has a swim speed, so we need to make note of that. So it says its speed is 10 feet. So its speed is 2 spaces. God, this thing is slow. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my little cheat sheet Google Sheets thing. And we are going to go down to features. And there should be a swim speed one. Yeah, swimming speed. So I'm going to copy that. And we're going to paste that into here. We're going to label it swimming speed. And then change what's needed. So the creature, which obviously we just changed for the name, so it is the Aboleth, has a swim speed of X. X being 40 feet. So 40 divided by 5 is, hold on, 8 of 8 spaces. Wait, right? Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, it is 8. Hold on. Why was I tripping over that? Why'd that have me mess up? Gotta put the kids to bed now. Hail Jakin in the chat. Avenue, thanks for hanging out tonight. Samuel keeps secrets. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your answer. So as I understand it, a level 4 monster should be a fair fight for a party of 4 level 1 players, right? Theoretically, yes. Again, there's no perfect formula, but it seems like the formula that's recommended as of right now, at least on the Mortal and Jado page, is the average HP of that monster times 4. So that's a good way to be budgeting your monster health across one monster or multiple monsters. So for example, if I go back to my little cheat sheet of monster stats, we were talking about a level 4 monster, right? So we go down to level 4, and then we would choose a tier. So let's say we choose the low tier, right? Which is 17. So it'd be 4 times 17, and that's generally the encounter health that you would want. So 4 times 17. So 68. That'd be 68 health that you could budget across multiple creatures. Or 1 or 2 big creatures. So might be a little tough, but also characters get really powerful and can do way more damage than people actually think. I would know my players easily do a lot of damage because of DC20, which is why I'm glad the monsters are getting a little bit of a buff. That way they can be evened out just a little bit. Might be a bit tough, but yeah, exactly. Okay, so we added our swimming speed. There we go. It has a multi-attack. We are going to ignore that because everything in DC20 has a multi-attack. It's a multi-action game, so that's irrelevant. The first thing that we're going to be adding is a tentacle. So we're going to add an action, and for now we're going to leave it as 1 action point. And this is going to be a tentacle. Did I spell it right? Yeah, I spelled it right. It's a melee attack roll, plus 9 reach, 15 feet. On a hit, does 12 bludgeoning damage. If the target is a large or smaller creature, it has the grappled condition. So that is something that we are going to add on as a condition save. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go over to my little cheat sheet, go to formatting, and this is a martial attack. So I'm going to copy this little format, and then we're going to edit it. So melee martial attack versus physical defense, and we know that this is going to be 7. So I'm going to bold the number. 7 bludgeoning damage. So one of the people get hit with this tentacle, boom, 7 damage. Where'd it go? There it is. And now we're going to add on a condition. We're going to add on the grapple condition because of that little text afterwards saying, if the target is a large or smaller creature, it has the grappled condition from 1 of 4 tentacles. Okay, so we're going to add that, which I think I already have as an enhancement. Grapple, yeah. So physical save, failure, the target is grappled. Okay. Oh, wait. Oops, never mind. So grapple. So we're going to say physical save. So failure, the target is grappled by 1 of the 4 tentacles. And there we go. It's as easy as that. Why are you Jakining right now? That's wild. All right, that was easy. So now we're going to consume memories. What a crazy name. Consume memories. All right, let's read what this does. I still find multi-attack useful. It means it can take multiple of the same action with no penalty. Multiple of the same action with no penalty. That's interesting. Multiple of the same action with no penalty. I think that might be a little too strong for my taste, but I could see that theoretically working. That's something I'd be willing to try in like a home game, and then based on what kind of result I find from that, would maybe start incorporating that into these monster streams. That's an interesting concept. God, Dr. Pepper is so good. God bless Texas. Okay. Consume memories. Intelligence saving throw. 1 creature within 30 feet. I heard a noise. Where'd that noise come from? What just happened? What just happened? Pokey stress has followed. Hold on. Come here. Come here. There, come here. Come here. All right, Pokey stress. Thank you for following. That made my night. Thank you. All right. All right. Now we're done staring we're done scaring Pokey stress away. Let's get back. Oh man. How many of the same attack, though? That's what I'm wondering. How many of the same attack, and does that apply to the same guy, right? Because if we kept multi-attack and then we had the tentacle, that could be like 14 damage with one action. Pokey stress is pokey stressed. It's possible. Okay, so we're on Consume Mind, right? One creature within 30 feet that is charmed or grappled by the aboleth. Failure, 10 psychic damage. Wow. Success, half damage. Failure or success, the aboleth gains the target's memories if the target is a humanoid and is reduced to 0 hit points by this action. Okay, so we are going to format this as a damage attack, and then we're going to add conditions to make it have the cool effects that we want. That's my gut instinct right now. So consume memories. This is intelligence, so this is going to be mental. So we're going to go to formatting. Ranged martial. I'll call this a mana point effect. It's technically not. Actually, you know what I'm actually going to look at? I can't share it on the screen because you know, but let me see something. I'm taking a look at some of our psychic boys, you know what I'm saying? Because that really should inform me how to do psychic types of damage with other things. There's already a read thoughts thing, so I might actually just copy and paste it over from the Mind Flayer. The aboleth gains the target's memories if the target is humanoid and is reduced to 0 hit points by this action. Oh shit, hold on. Oh, my bad. I got really into that. Okay, so it drops you to 0 health points. This is a crazy powerful effect. All right, so I'm actually gonna look at 2 other monsters that we've already built in DC20 for this, for some guidance on how to approach this. So we're gonna do a DC crit. And I'm gonna go to my Tiamat build. Tiamat drops to hit points, spellcaster, multiple heads, regeneration. Tiamat. We have the dragon heads. Wait, did we not have anything? Hold on. I thought we have a monster that dropped people to like 0 health points. Maybe it was the Hydra? No. Oh wait, I think it was the Beholder. I think that's what it was. Beholder. Yeah, it was the Beholder. Disintegration Ray. Death Ray. The target creature must succeed an agility save. On a failure, the target is reduced to 0 health points and enters death's door. And then we had Disintegration Ray. On a failure, the target dies and its body becomes a pile of fine gray dust. Coach hopped in this stream for a little bit and said, you can have an action that just drops characters to 0 health points. You can do that. So let's read the aboleth thing one more time and then decide if we want this to be a drop to death's door situation, or if it's like a Disintegration Ray where it's like, you can't really disintegrate and be on death's door. So, with the aboleth, you take the psychic damage, charmed or grappled, all that kind of goodness. Failure or success. The aboleth gains the target's memories if the target is the humanoid and is reduced to 0 health points by this action. I think this justifies going down to death's door instead of dying immediately. So that's what we're gonna do. And this is obviously gonna be a higher action point cost because, you know, yeah. All right, so consume memories. Let's break this down. So there's the initial save. Versus a creature that is charmed or grappled. So that's kind of a prerequisite. So yeah, we're going to make this an attack, and then the condition is going to be us bringing it down to this door. So consume memories. This would be like a mental kind of effect. Let me see what I did with the Mind Flayer real quick. Mind Blast, ranged spell attack. That's how I phrased it. Okay. Okay. Actually, I might still do that up. Do I have ranged spell attack in my format? Yeah, but if it's a mana point effect, then we have to put in our little description. This can be a spell dueled. So this is not a mana point effect. Ranged spell attack versus mystical defense. X distance type. So our distance is 30 feet. So that's going to be 6 spaces. Just generally, right? 6 spaces, 7 psychic damage. So boom, 7 psychic damage. Let's actually specify. So ranged spell attack versus grappled or charmed targets MD. Okay, so it's specified. This is a ranged spell attack versus a grappled or charmed target's mystical defense. 6 spaces, 7 psychic damage. So it is in there. They have to be grappled. They have to be charmed. One or the other. I'm going to bump this up to... I'm tempted to make it 3 action points. What did we make? A Mind Blast was 1. Extracting Brain was 2. A Devour... I think 2 is right. Depends how many more things we add on. All right, so the condition, right? So we called this Consume Memories. We might have to come up with a creative name. We might call this Mind Blast. So we have Mind Blast. That's not really a Mind Blast. Charmed or grappled by the Aboleth. Failure to just half damage. The Aboleth gains the memories and humanoids reduced. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying. You guys talking about the multi-attack. I had it having 2 tentacle attacks. It still advances the multiple. All right. Doom condition. Death to those who oppose DC20. Oh, chill. Brain Blast. Jimmy Neutron. Consume memories. When a target takes psychic damage, they must make a mental save. On failure, the target is stunned 1. +1 for each failed by. I guess that's one way to do it, but then you don't have the context of, like, it gains access to their memories. Ranged spell attack versus grappled or charmed targets, mystical defense, 6 spaces, 7 psychic damage. What is a clever name? This is the fun part. I need you guys to come up with a name. So what is a name that we could call this condition? I'm just going to start typing out this condition. You guys start pitching name ideas for what we call this condition where you're dropped down to death's door. So I'm gonna leave that part up to you guys, and then we'll check back in a second. So if this is gonna be a save, what would I call this? Infect? It's not really infect. Shock, hinder, impair, burn, poison, rend, slow, power, bomb, grapple. It's not really a poison, but or infect, but I'm kind of leaning towards that, but it's not. Anyways, it's gonna be a mystical save. That much I know. So condition, mystical save. So failure. The ABOLETH. Yeah, okay, so the ABOLETH gains the target's. The ABOLETH gains the target's memories if the target is humanoid and is reduced to death's door. We're going to phrase that a little better. By this action. Okay, so how do I phrase it again? I put it down there. Now we gotta go back to the beholder. See how I formatted that a little bit. The target is reduced to 0 health points and enters death's door. Okay. So we'll go here and it is reduced to 0 health points and enters death's door. All right, let's see what kind of names you guys came up with. Brain tumor is crazy. That's crazy. Have it be a feature where whenever they take psychic damage, they have their memories read for a number of turns equal to its combat mastery. That's one way to interpret it. There was more to it. I had limited characters. That's fair. Also, the ABOLETH learns a piece of information about the target determined by the GM. The target forgets whatever information the ABOLETH learned. Memory shock. Memory shock. Brain tumor is still... Brain drain. Anyway, I have to head out for the night. Samuel, what a crazy message to end on. I love that. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Those are fun. Brain drain, memory shock, consume memories, devour memories, brain blast. Fatal condemnation. Fatal condemnation. That's awesome. I think I kind of like brain drain just because it rhymes. Brain drain. Yeah, why not? I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Our final action is going to be Dominate Mind. I feel like we're going to use something pretty similar to this with other monsters coming up. Dominate Mind. This is twice a day. That alone almost makes me want to make it an Apex feature. But let's see what it says, shall we? Brain Drain is peak. That would be my choice. T-Dog, what's up? How you doing? All right, so Dominate Mind, twice a day, Wisdom saving throw, DC 16. One creature the ABOLETH can see within 30 feet. On a failure, the target has the charmed condition until the ABOLETH dies or is on a different plane of existence from the target. While charmed, the target acts as an ally to the ABOLETH and is under the control while within 60 feet of it. In addition, the ABOLETH and the target can communicate telepathically with each other over any distance. The target repeats the save whenever it takes damage, as well as after every 24 hours, it spends at least 1 mile away from the ABOLETH, ending the effect on itself on a success. Okay. Dominate Mind. Twice a day. I kind of think this might have to be a legendary or an Apex feature thing. We have legendary actions. The ABOLETH makes 1 tentacle attack. That's useless because we already have multi-attacks in here. If you want to make more than 1 tentacle attack, you absolutely can. You don't need legendary action for that in DC20. All right, it does have an interesting little paragraph under legendary actions, though. It says uses 3, 4 in layer. Immediately after another creature's turn, the Aboleth can expend a use to take one of the following actions. The Aboleth regains all expended uses at the start of each of its turns. Brain drain is stuff the dinosaurs are to get dumber in that old movie. Good night, Luis. Thank you for hanging out. So we have Lash, and then we have Psychic Drain. If the Aboleth has at least one creature charmed or grappled, it uses Consume Memories and regains 5 health points. Ooh. That's cool. Okay. So let's... Oh man, this is tough. Okay, I think Dominant Mind will have to go under Apex features. So let's add our attack enhancement real quick. So I'm actually going to add one enhancement, and it's going to be basically to charm a creature. So it's just going to be one action point, right? So I'm going to say 1 charm. Actually, we could probably make this a charisma save. Charisma save. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it a mystical save for this one. Mystical save. Failure. The target is charmed by the Aboleth. That needs to be an attack enhancement for the creature because we have a whole mechanic that involves charming a creature, right? Okay, we're not going to add any reactions. We are going to be adding some Apex features. But first, we need to decide how many points it gets. This says 4. Whoa. I didn't mean to. So I'm going to add 4 for now. And let me check something from the Monster Starter Pack, which I can't share on screen. But let me just check something. Monster difficulties, monster stats, tally marks, encounters, use dice, legendary action points. Yeah, let's zoom in on this page. There we go. They work similar to how you've used them in other systems, and they actually fit into DC20 very smoothly. You can spend legendary action points in between the PC's turns. This lets these monsters act more often and in more dynamic ways. You can give them a number of these points, normally no more than the number of PCs. You can't spend legendary action points during your turn on the initiative order. They recharge at the beginning of run. But then there's also boss points, which we technically rank this thing as a boss. You know what? Legendary action points are just extra cool stuff that you can do. But there's also one more thing I'm going to check. Yeah, there's so many interesting ways to format these based off of other stat blocks that we've gotten. I can't show you on screen. We could do a round based thing. So there's a round 1 action, round 2 action, round 3 action. So we could just make it get exponentially worse for the players the longer the rounds go. That might be an option. So that could mean legendary action points. We still have the Lash to do the tentacle attack. It's because you don't spend your action point to do that. So that could be like round 1. Round 2 could be the Dominate Mind, where you charm one of the players into working for you, and Yeah. And then round 3 could be Psychic Drain. So if the Aboleth has at least one creature charmed or grappled, it uses Consume Memories and regains 5d10 health points, blah, blah. Hello, Jakin, sir. So glad to get to jump in on one of these. What's up, Tabletop Phoenix? I can't speak, but thank you. Hope you're doing well. It should spit an energy ray, like in Guardians of the Hold on. It does look like one of those things from Guardians 2, doesn't it? It does look like one of those things, doesn't it? That's a good point. You know what? I think I'm going to do the round-based idea. So this is what it's going to look like, right? So we got round 1, round 2, round 3. I think that's the way we're going to format this. So let's do it, because we have the tools that we need to make them bold and everything, right? So we're literally going to call this first one Lash. Actually, it's not formatted. That's Lash, right? Yeah. Oops. All right. So Lash, the Aboleth makes 1 tentacle attack. The Aboleth makes 1 tentacle attack. So that's what it would look like. Oops. Hold up. There we go. Lash. The Aboleth makes 1 tentacle attack. There you go. That's the first round, right? Round 2. That could be... Psychic Drain... Here, I'm going to add Psychic Drain to... Whoops. Nope. I'm going to add Psychic Drain to this one for right now, but we might move it. Psychic... What? Hold on. Psychic... What? I'm spelling this wrong. Psychic Drain. Right? If... So this is if the Aboleth has at least 1 creature charmed or grappled, comma, it uses Consume Mind, or hold on, Consume Memories, and regains, it says 5 hit points, but I might make that a higher number. I feel like 5 is too low. We might leave it at 5. We'll see. And regains 5 health points. Because forcing it to use Consume Memories. Oh, wait, but that's a freebie use of it, right? If the Aboleth, it uses Consume Memories and regains 5 health points. That's kind of crazy. Let's see. You guys saying 5? Yep, doing great. Just busy with the baby coming. Oh, baby on the way. Dude, Tabletop Phoenix, congrats. Raise my Dr. Pepper cup to you. 8 HP, 10% feels right. I'm not going to argue with that. If it's more, yoink. All right, so round 2, that's where we will add that 1 feature from earlier. Oh, wait, but we also have the legendary resistance from earlier. If the Aboleth fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed instead. We're not adding that crap. I'm good. I don't think we need it. All right, so there we go. Let's do Dominate Mind. All right, so this is a Wisdom saving throw. On failure, the target has the charm condition. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's super easy. Wisdom save. No, we're gonna make this a charisma save. Charisma save. Failure. Oh wait, how do you format that? That's why I have that little page. Charisma save. 6 spaces. Charisma save. Yeah, charisma save, 6 spaces. Boom. On a failure. There you go. There you go. Actually, there's a better way to format this. A creature the Aboleth can see within 6 spaces makes a charisma save. There you go. Failure. All right, let's see. The target has the charmed condition. The target is charmed until the Aboleth dies or is on a different plane of existence from the target. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's a little better. While charmed, the target... Wait, how did I form... I did something earlier, because we did cursed, and then we didn't have it be cursed. We'll go back to that. While charmed... sorry. While charmed, the target acts as an ally. Acts as an ally to the Aboleth and is under its control while within 60, so that'd be 12 spaces of it. In addition, there's more. The Aboleth, so in addition, the Aboleth and the target can communicate telepathically, yeah, with each other over any distance. Crazy. The target repeats the save whenever it takes damage, as well as the target repeats the save whenever it takes damage, as well as after 24 hours it spends at least 1 mile. That's crazy. 1 mile away from the Aboleth. That's wild. Ending the effect on itself on a success. That's the round 2 option. Oh, man. Good evening, McCloudy. What's up? All right. So let's reread this, make sure we got this right. So round 1 with our Apex features, the Aboleth makes 1 tentacle attack, which, by the way, we need to remove the legendary action points. The monster can spend any number of legendary action points at the end of the PC's turn. These are set after each round of combat. Yeah, no. So round 1, the Aboleth makes 1 tentacle attack. Round 2, Dominate Mind. A creature the Aboleth can see within 6 spaces makes a charisma save. Failure. The target is charmed until the Aboleth dies or is on a different plane of existence from the target. While charmed, the target acts as an ally to the Aboleth and is under its control while within 12 spaces of it. In addition, the Aboleth and the target can communicate telepathically with each other over any distance. The target repeats the save whenever it takes damage, as well as after the 24 hours it spends at least 1 mile away from the Aboleth, ending the effect on itself on a success. And then I'm just quickly looking up curse real quick. Oh, wait, is curse not a condition? It is not. Okay. So where was the cursed one? The mucus. The target is cursed. Okay, yes, yeah, we'll just leave that. That's not really conditioned. Okay. I'm gonna double check, but as far as the stat block goes, that's about it. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's add a little bit to our description as well as a little bit of a token. This is a new feature for DC20 or DC Crit, my bad. This is the token editor. This is me blind using it. I've seen photos of it. I've seen screenshots. I've avoided purposely looking at things so that I could go into this blind with you guys, discovering it with you. So let's do this thing. Which, let me, actually, yeah, we'll just leave it as is. Okay, so we can drag or drop any image on the canvas above or click to load from the file. I'm just gonna drag and drop an image of a ABOLETH 5e. Can I get the picture from D&D? Yeah, that. So I'm gonna copy. Actually, wait. It said I had to drag it. Hold on. Drag or drop any image. Okay, so I'll actually save it. Yeah, save image as. Save it to pictures. ABOLETH. All right, so let's pull this up, shall we? So we go over to pictures, get our ABOLETH, drag and drop, and boom, here it is. Scroll to zoom, control to rotate. Oh, that's cool. All right, so I'm zooming. That's nice. I like that. Oh my God, do I make this? What's the move, guys? Do I make the entire thing fit in here or not fit in here? The token won't save yet. Okay. Well, at least we'll take a gander at it. Oh man, what would I do? I think I'd probably make it larger than it needs to be, right? So probably something like that. And then we got a bunch of cool frames up here. Probably make like the blue one. That's kind of nice. Don't make it fit. All right, big herd. Yeah, probably add the blue one because this is a... Oh, what? I can drag the... Can I control Z undo? No. Okay. But I can press go away. I can redo it. Okay, cool. So I can adjust the hue of it. Oh, play with some of the colors. Nifty. Rotate, contrast, brightness. Put a blend mode on it. That's pretty cool. I know you said it wouldn't save, but I pressed save. So boom, save. It's down here at the very bottom. You can't see it. But I got it to save. It'll probably delete because that's what Manic said. Ah, there it goes. I clicked out of it and then it disappeared. You can't see it, but yeah. Interesting. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, so let's drag this up and let's go ahead and add our little descriptive thing down here. But okay. So how did I do this last week? Basically, we're adding some of the new information that you get from the new monsters. So we're adding a habitat, and we're adding the treasure. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's add our habitat. So we have all these different commands for how to do stuff, right? So let's do the habitat. And the habitat of the ABOLETH is Underdark or underwater. So we're gonna put down Underdark, underwater. I'm gonna go down to And then we're going to make a treasure. And then we're going to say relics. And then, you know what? For fun, because the new DMG, not DMG, the new Monster Manual has it, I'm going to add the 1d6 table. I don't know how I'm going to format this, but I'm going to figure this out. So I'm going to do hashtag ABOLETH schemes. We're going to try to make a 1d6 table in DC crit. We're going to try this. All right, so we're going to say, this is bold. We're going to say 1d6. And then 1, 2, 3. The ABOLETH seeks to dot dot dot. So how many spaces did I make from that 6? 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna figure this out. All right. So I'm gonna say 1. Actually, I know how to do this. We're gonna say done, done, done. So 1 space 2. 1 space 2. Well, don't worry. We're gonna get this right. We're gonna get this right. Actually, we'll just call this the 1d6. The ABOLETH seeks to table. That's what we'll call this. So then we'll format it like this. So the ABOLETH seeks to accomplish incomprehensible plans that lead it to act in seemingly more random ways. That's number 1. Number 2, learn more of the world by kidnapping people and consuming their minds. Number 3, manipulate, in a sense, into worshiping it as a god by using its telepathy from hiding. That's creative. 4, open a gate to the distant past or future. Boom. Releasing an invasion from another time. That's crazy. 5, ruse of a dragon turtle. What? What's that mean? A kraken? What? Or another sea monster to flood a coastal city. That's bonkers. And then finally, number 6, trick treasure hunters into recovering relics from its long fallen empire. I'm going to preview the draft. Hold on. Okay, close preview. I'm going to get this formatting right? I'm going to press enter again. Preview draft. Oh, I see. No, I don't see. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Correction. You can click download to save your HDD for now. Drag the ABOLETH down to the token content creators layers. Apples, just do it. I'm curious to try more of this out now if it makes monsters easier. It does make monsters easier. ! DC crit to go support it and get access to it. The token tool will also be a standalone free app for anyone to save to their computer. It'll be out here pretty soon. That's awesome. Glad to hear. I'm sure once we reach higher levels, I'll be going through the builds. Can't wait. DC Crit is definitely going to be a go-to tool for me. It is for me. Made a monster so far, but token editor. Oh yeah. Okay, so I need to figure out how I'm formatting this table, because I can work with that. I can. And technically this, we're trying to use DC Crit in a way it's not meant to be used, right? We could try this. We could try this. It will look weird. Oh wait, hold on. That's not that weird. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. Okay. That works. That works for me. You might need to shift enter on each numbered line in the table. Oh, I bet. I wonder if that was us. That's what I was supposed to do. But this works for me. So Aboleth schemes. The 1d6, the Aboleth seeks to table. And then there you go with the options. Dude, that's awesome. Guys, we just completed the 2025 Aboleth from Dungeons and Dragons. We have successfully converted it into DC20. Here, I'm going to fix this before I do all of my theatrics. Gotta move this down. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. I want to make sure I get the formatting right. Just go on. Just go on. Okay. All right, there we go. So we have the Aboleth. We've completed it. We have the stat block. We have the habitat. We have the treasures, and we have the table that comes with the monster in the 2025 Monster Manual. And now this can be available for you to download, publish using DC Crit starting now. It is now published. The Aboleth is now published. Hold on, I gotta create a new draft. I already messed up. I already did the wrong thing. Just hold on. Okay, hold on. Just bear with me. I already messed up. Published draft. Boom. Version 2, Aboleth 2025. There you go. Hold on. I messed up again. Now that we know what it does, we have the unknown role. Warden, Trickster, Enchanter, Guardian. I thought there was one that like messed with the mines. Ambusher, Berserker. Use powerful magic. Spells. Enchanter. Yeah, Enchanter. Save draft. Publish version 3. Okay, version 3 of the monster. Now we are up. Now it's published for anyone to use. Jakin, you need to show something that I sent in show and tell on your server. What? Jakin, you need to show something that I sent in show and tell on your server, like right now? Oh my goodness. Well, I can't pass that up. Guys, look what somebody made. Is that what I think it is? Look what somebody has made. A Swordplay and Sorcery token using DC Crit. And yes, that is my face from what I assume is the thumbnail behind my yes. Oh man. But guys, we did it. We freaking did it. We definitely need a way to insert tables into the description or the block itself. I was going to comment on that. Roll tables are planned. Oh, sweet. Okay. So, like I said, next week isn't going to be a monster conversion stream. We're actually going to be reviewing your monsters. So, if you have a monster that you want to see me review, give my thoughts, opinion, or feedback. Oh, yeah. The mic may not have heard it, but I screamed, oh, yeah. Anyways, next week, we're reviewing your monsters. So I'm not converting, I'm reviewing your monsters. So if you have a monster that you want me to review on stream, by next Wednesday, exclamation point, Discord in the chat, join the Swordplay and Sorcery Discord server, and in the Share Your Monsters channel, post your monsters in there. And who knows, it might get selected to be viewed. We already have a few, and a few Five Nights at Freddy's ones. We have some alternate takes on monsters that we've converted on stream. So some people have converted and made their own version of the same monster. So that's always interesting to see comparisons. But after that week, we're going to be returning to the conversion streams, and we're going back to a monster that we did pretty recently. We're going to be converting the Air Elemental. So that'll be the first time we actually had recently converted a 2014 version of a monster and are moving into a 2025 version. Oh my goodness. But everyone, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out and making this Aboleth. It's always fun getting your guys' insights, letting you guys name things, talk about mechanics, talk about the game itself. And I'm sure, like the rest of you, I am very excited and eagerly awaiting the 0.9 release of the rules. I can't wait to see what all that changes and if that makes the monster process.
Says Jakin Pog.
Jakin Pog, exactly. What else do you need? Anyways, if you haven't already liked this stream, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Why not? And if you're watching this after the stream, leave a comment down below. What would you have changed? Did you like the way that we built the Aboleth? Do you disagree? Let me know. I would love to discuss that. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Adios. Goodbye. So long.